This week's lesson is about Joseph, the master of dreams. Genesis 37:2 is an enigma, something that is difficult to understand. The verse is mysterious. Let me explain. Let's read this passage. Genesis 37, verse 2. These are the records of the generations of Jacob. Who are the generations of Jacob? Does it list his 12 sons, beginning with Reuben the eldest? No. The next name after Jacob is Joseph. The word is Toledoth, generations, is used in the previous chapter 36, verse 9, and it says here that these then are the records of the generations of Esau. Then it went on to list the sons of Esau in birth order. There are 12 sons of Jacob, and Reuben was the firstborn of Leah and the firstborn for Jacob. But the generation of Jacob, as depicted here in Genesis 37, is through Joseph. But Joseph is the 11th in line. And his name, Joseph, is mentioned 12 times in this chapter alone. And so for the next 14 chapters, the longest section in the book of Genesis, the story is of a single person, Joseph. Longer even than the chapters describing the life and journey of Abraham. Joseph's father, Jacob, isn't due to die until we come to the end of the book. But throughout these 14 chapters, Jacob is just a peripheral figure in the background. All his considerable achievements and battles are in the past. He is a yesterday man until his long deathbed speech in Genesis 49. All throughout those chapters, the central figure is Joseph. And so these last chapters of Genesis contain what could be rightly called the best known biography in the world, the story of Joseph. We are being introduced to someone of remarkable importance here. Why is such a lengthy focus on Joseph? Why is his story more significant than the other patriarchs? Joseph has been chosen by God, even as a 17-year-old, to be the firstborn for Israel. Not Reuben. That is God's dream, his divine choice. Joseph is to be the one to lead the covenantal heritage of Israel. This teenager is to be the patriarchal edge of Israel generation. Being a dreamer, God revealed this sacred truth to Joseph in two vivid dreams. Big dreams, so big that he sounded very arrogant even to his own father. Actually, they misread the dreams. It is important to note here that the word God is not mentioned in this chapter. This absence is a harbinger of what is to come. His brother's hostile reaction in abducting and figuratively killing him is further proof of the seeming absence of God. Joseph breaks into the scene performing menial tasks and serving his half-brothers. But because of the two dreams, Joseph is totally perplexed and bewildered, and things got worse. The servant boy was sold as a slave, and despite his sincerity, he was slandered and cast into prison to be forgotten. But the unmentioned God was behind it all, providentially guiding all these traumatic events of his life. As we will see in the next lesson, God in choosing Joseph for the greatness that was to come, one for his own good, for the good of Egypt, for his brother's good, for Jacob's good, and for the good of Israel, the people of God. That greatness will totally shock Egypt. It will totally shock his family, and ultimately God will be justified in dreaming with this dreamer to become Israel's firstborn. So when God gives a dream, it is for his purpose, and it's really beyond us. Those dreams can bring hostile reactions from family and foe. But God wastes no trial, he wastes no contempt. He wastes no opportunity of humiliation or estrangement among his people. God may seem absent, but he is there and in control, and his will is unfolding. Disastrous events are God's opportunities for good, to bring about eternal result. And like Joseph, persevere to save many people to the kingdom. And so will you, if you trust in the God of Jacob and the God of Joseph.